And so here we go. I'm Time LG. Earlier today, I had this thought and it gave me the inspiration to want to make this video. With the announcement of Bleach Rebirth of Souls, because I'm a longtime Bleach fan, when I was first seeing the trailer, I had this thought. When I was first watching it, I was like, I was so excited because it was, one, it's new Bleach stuff, right? New. It's based off of, the old content from Bleach, but still. It's new. It's a new game from Bleach. Was watching the trailer and I was so excited because it looked so good, and just from the way that it looked graphically, my hopes and my expectations were rising and rising. I was expecting or hoping, I guess you could say, that it was going to be a game like Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. And then as the trailer went on, you see some gameplay segments, and then I did some looking at the website after I'd watched the trailer, and it became clear that it wasn't that kind of game. It was going to be another anime arena fighter. Now, that doesn't mean that I think it's going to be bad. I still think that it can be amazing, and it's presumably going to have some form of story mode. In which case, I'll definitely be playing that, and I'll probably be getting the game either way because I love Bleach and I'm gonna get it. But after finding out there was Arena Fighter, this like sudden burst of just annoyance and somewhat anger came to me. In which case, I thought to myself repeatedly, why does it have to be another Arena Fighter? Why does every anime game, why does almost any anime getting a game nowadays, why is it almost always an arena fighter or a mobile gacha game? The power systems and the storytelling and just the setting of Bleach in its universe, I just kept thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. And then today, I was like, you know what? I want to make a video talking about this and raising that question of why is almost every anime getting an arena fighter? Now, don't get me wrong. Bleach does fit an arena fighter extremely well with the different powers and the Bankais and the Shikais. Everything about Bleach and its characters and how fights in Bleach happen fits an arena fighter, 100%. But it also very well could have fit a Dragon Ball Z Kakarot style of game, a open world RPG type game where you have all the different areas and you progress through the story of the game. Especially with the Thousand Year Blood War arc being, anime still going on right now, they could have done what Dragon Ball Kakarot missed out on and give you the entire thing like that style of game. Because that was one thing I always whenever Kakarot was coming out and it was just going to be Dragon Ball Z, Tournament of Power and stuff was happening at the time and all that. I had always just assumed oh, are we gonna get Super as DLC? We're gonna get, I was like, oh, you're doing the OG, you're doing the Dragon Ball Z story for the main game, do Super for DLC. But they never did that, which was always very strange to me. It was a very big missed opportunity. And then they also as far as we know, there's no second Kakarot game coming out, no sequel that would cover Super. It seems that almost any anime or manga series that becomes an anime that gets relatively popular, chances are it's gonna get a game, and there's a 90% chance, okay, maybe not that high, maybe 75% chance that it's gonna end up being an arena fighter game. My Hero got 2 arena fighter games. Kill la Kill has an arena fighter game. Demon Slayer has an arena fighter. I mean, obviously Dragon Ball has arena fighters. Naruto has a ton of arena fighters. One Piece, I'm pretty sure, has arena fighters, or at least fighting games of some kind. And it just feels like, more than anything, animes get fighters. One Punch Man has a arena fighter. And it feels like so many of those series, while they do fit an arena fighter well, they could also fit other genres very well, that it's why don't they do that? And the only reasons I can come up with is money, obviously, because there's game studios and publishers and developers, they want to make money. And an arena fighter is probably the cheapest game to develop for an anime IP. And I was realizing if Chainsaw Man continues, it's probably going to get an arena fighter, in which case works fairly well. It's but you could also do so many other genres. Like if some studio and publisher took the risk, they could probably do Chainsaw Man like MMO, where you create your own original Devil Hunter, and you can decide how you want to build out your thing, right? You can choose, you'd be able to get your different packs or different contracts with different devils, different, or maybe eventually you can, depending on the story and how you go through the MMO story, towards the end you could maybe become one of like the hybrids or something of that nature, right? Or it could just be an RPG going through the story of Chainsaw Man. That could also work well. Or other, like, because even something like Fist of the North Star has like an RPG game. I've never played it, but I want to. Eventually I will get around to playing it. Fist of the North Star has like an RPG game. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure has, like, it's extremely old, but even that has an RPG game. And it's nuts to think that those games can get RPG style games, and yet something like Bleach doesn't. Something like Bleach where like there's so much training and empowering up and reaching the next level and stuff like that, or like it just would fit in an RPG setting so damn well, with the gravity of this being like the first Bleach game in like over a decade. From what I saw, this is the first Bleach game on a console since before the 1,000-Year Blood War arc was happening in the manga originally. It's been that fucking long since Bleach has gotten a game that's gotten the console. Which, granted, the mobile game is also on console, but that's however you want to classify that. I don't even know how old the mobile game is. The mobile game could just be that damn old. It being an arena fighter saddens me because I think it could have been so much more. And then on top of that, they're only going to be having characters through to the end of the Arrancar arc. In which case, that just leaves an even bigger missed potential, because with all the hype of the 1,000-Year Blood War arc happening and whatnot right now, why would you not do the entire series cast of characters, right? Especially considering like that it's Bandai, and they're letting they're letting Sparking Zero basically almost cover like every fucking character from the entirety of the franchise as a whole, except for like OG Dragon Ball characters. As far as we know, there's no OG Dragon Ball characters in Sparking Zero at the moment. But yet for Bleach, they're only going to let them go through like 3 arcs, which that doesn't mean that they can't come back to those other arcs for DLC, but then it's like, come on, it's a fighting game, just give us the whole thing. Like, it's supposed to be like this big thing for Bleach. If they don't end up doing all the characters, or at least like all the characters from all the arcs, to me that's going to be a major disappointment conceptually, because obviously you're going to have multiple versions of Ichigo, probably at least a couple versions of Chad. From what I saw, I think Orihime is not even a playable character in the game, which makes sense because she doesn't really do much actual fighting. Now, maybe for like the Espada, maybe they'll have like transformations. Maybe they're not going to be separate. Maybe their Resurrection will be like a transformation and not separate playable characters, because apparently there will be like Bankai and like other transformation mechanics in the game. Obviously, because I mean Bankai is like a huge part of like the combat in Bleach. But like, so there's not going to be, obviously you're going to have like the Visors, maybe not all of them, but probably most of them. You're going to have all of the Gotei 13 captains. You're going to have Yamamoto. You're going to have, well, no, you won't. I was about to say you're going to have the Zero Division, but you won't, because that's 1,000-Year Blood War, and they're not doing that in the base game at the very least. And it's like, you know that they're going to come to that with DLC. Which does leave a lot of interesting doors open. In which case, we know in the 1,000-Year Blood War arc, at the end of the second core of that season, we got to see whatever her name, I forget her name off the top of my head. You get to see one of the Zero Division's Bankai, even because we already get to see Ichibei's no matter what in the manga. There's a chance if they bring in those other characters, maybe Kubo works with the dev team, and maybe we get to see the others Bankais, because we don't get to see them, because in order for one of them to use their Bankai, the other 3 have to kill themselves, which is weird. But that's just how it works, and it's weird, but it's also kind of cool. it kind of makes sense when you think about how strong the Zero Division people, the Zero Division members are. But it's like, so yeah, you're gonna get probably a couple different versions of Aizen. You're gonna get all the different captains, probably the vice captains as well. The Espada with their Resurrections, maybe some of the Fraction, maybe some Hollow, like just regular Hollows as playable fighters, possibly. You know, I think there's some room and some. I think there's some open room for that. I think that could work. But then you're also gonna have different versions. Early show, first arc Ichigo, second arc Ichigo, third arc Ichigo. Maybe the Ichigo version that from season 3 that'll be from the third arc that'll be a playable character. Maybe he'll have his Vasto Lorde transformation as like a transformation that you can do. Or maybe the Vasto Lorde Ichigo will just be its own character. I think that'd be pretty cool to just be able to do that as his own whole character. To go back around, why not let these studios do more than just an arena fighter for an anime IP? Why not? I mean, obviously any anime could do an RPG style game, just telling the story of the anime of the series. Any anime could do that. You know, you just have your RPG setting, your mechanics, and then you just run through it, run through the story, and you level up, power up, you know, the character as you go through, blah, 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 all that shit. Like, any of them could do that. But as far as like outside of that, I don't see what else they could do. You know, obviously they could also do gacha games, but that's not really a genre. Well, that is technically a genre. Most anime franchises are really limited to just doing either RPG or arena fighter, but it seems like they just always do arena fighter. And it's like, just change it up sometimes. Especially for something so big as Bleach. Give it the respect of doing like a proper all-out RPG, like Dragon Ball Z Kakarot level game, but do it better than Kakarot and like actually like just fucking animate all the animate everything. Don't do fucking slideshow fucking cutscenes. Don't do that shit. Voice it all and fucking give it good quality fucking cutscenes. Make it like an event that this game exists. Make it like a proper experience, and make it like as accurate to the source material as possible, because like, as you know, the Bleach anime was censored during like the Arrancar arc and some scenes, and even in other scenes in other seasons. Don't do that. Let it be bloody, let it be brutal, let it be Bleach, let it be Kubo's original vision from the manga. One more thing, even like One Piece has experimented more with genres than like any other anime franchise when it comes to video games. It has the mobile games, it has the Dynasty Warrior style games, it has the fighting games, I'm pretty sure, it has the RPG games. It's done more, it's experimented more than any other anime series or anime IP has done with games to think of. So yeah, that's been it. I've been Time. That has been my thoughts and opinions on this topic. If you enjoyed, please feel free to leave a like or a dislike. Leave a comment, a nice one, a bad one. Don't really care. And let me know if you want to. Let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts? Do you think more anime devs should venture out more from just arena fighters? Should Bandai do more? I personally think that they would benefit financially more from venturing out and really giving these games some proper high quality video game treatment, instead of just arena fighters with like passable mechanics. And I'm not a big fighting game person, but I know how bad most anime fighting games the netcode is on most of them. Like Dragon Ball FighterZ has only recently got rollback netcode, which is like a big fucking thing. It's like, if you're gonna just always do an arena fighter game, at least do it properly for the sake of the fucking fans, because you'll end up making more money, because it'll get better reviews, better press, and more recommendations, and you'll get more fucking sales. Give these games some respect. Like, you're Bandai Namco, you're known for anime games and whatnot, and anime like inspired games and shit like that. Give them the proper respect, especially for massive IPs like fucking Bleach. Or if you end up getting the fucking licensing to do like a Chainsaw Man game, or a fucking Kaiju number 8 game, or a Seven Deadly Sins game, or a Plunderer game. Anything. Give it the proper fucking respect and love and care and time. As fans of these series, we want games of them, and chances are, yes, we'll probably buy them no matter fucking what, but we'll be more easily willing to buy them if they're good and they have that love and that passion is there, and it's visible that the devs were able to like put their hearts into it. So that's really the crux of it. I just want high quality anime games. I want them to be good. If it's going to be an arena fighter, please at least make it be good. And at least from the trailer so far, it does look like it's going to be good. Until next time, I stream fairly often on YouTube and on Twitch for different things. But until next time, and until those things happen, take it easy, and bye-bye.